And one of the things that Angie Hayes, who is a teacher in the community, or was a teacher, now she's retired, and also a dancer, she said, what did you learn about teaching in the school setting when you were a Ginsberg artist?
Yeah.
And it was fourth
graders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the Ginsberg artist for a year, and I went to every elementary school in the Iowa City School District and taught hip-hop dance and like lessons about where it came from and how it can be used in everyday life, basically. But I think more so what I learned from the kids is that like it's kind of beautiful to be spontaneous, you know. Kids don't really have a filter and they don't really like want to go with a lot of structure, so I'd have all these things planned out to do and it would not go that way at all, but like that's the beauty of it, and I kind of learned to be more adaptable in that sense because life is the same way, like you can't always have a plan for it, you have to kind of just go with the flow a lot of times. And then I just learned also that like you don't have to take everything so seriously. Cause like even when I was like telling kids like things that I thought were like heavier subjects, they're just like laughing about it, like, oh yeah. Like, okay. But like I kind of like took from that they like get what I'm saying, they understand it, but it's just like in their world right now, it's just like still a minor thing. It's not that difficult for them to, like you tell them to be themselves and then you get them to get on the dance floor and like do something crazy. And that is a major milestone in my eyes, but to them it's just like, oh wow, I just danced in front of my classmates. You know, it's much a smaller scale. So I kind of have to remember that different perspectives on things and that you can't always believe that someone's going to take this giant lesson from things.
I know.
So,
yeah.
But the kids were great. I love doing
And
that.
then the other thing that she was wondering also in that area is how different from working at the Dream Center with the Dream Divas.
Well, the Dream Divas are a little older, so that's one thing. So different set of issues with like teenage girls. So I think that as much as me teaching the girls of the Dream Divas how to dance, it was also personal development, you know. In a lot of ways, they were going through so many different things all the time, and still are, like as teenage girls, as women of color growing up in our society and in a community that they don't really see a lot of female role models, especially female role models of color in the community, being active. So it was sort of I don't know, a heavy task to take on, to be sort of help them find those role models, but also be a sort of role model, and also teach them dance on the side. So there was a lot of intertwining things that were going on with the Dream Divas, but like they always like leveled up every time I gave them a task, and they always rose to the occasion. And I've traveled with them in a lot of different places too, and just to see how they've grown by performing in different types of settings is so beautiful. So.
And they continue.
They
are working, and they definitely. That is a very, very interesting group, and I love the Dream Divas. I like to work with them. I think that they are really fantastic. They are, and they really get along with you, because I remember you performing with, I don't know, 20 of them. Sometimes in the mall, it was on the floor, and it was fantastic what you were doing, and they were just, I think that you inspired them in many ways also. So, and the other thing that Angie wonders is, how can dance departments in general better prepare students to outreach once they graduate? Because you've been doing a lot of that, but not a lot of people do that.
I mean, I think the way that I started dance was very communal. Like I started dancing in the church when I was young, and that was like and we would travel to other churches in the community and perform like praise dance and things like that. So I guess the way I've always approached dance has been like trying to move an audience and trying to connect with different performances and how they relate to different types of people. And I think that when I started getting technically trained and when I went to college, I still kept that mentality that even though I'm in a classroom, like I don't want to get stuck in a classroom. I need to take this to the people and like have them experience it. So I think a lot of schools in a lot of ways can have that mentality, teaching the kids that like dance especially is something that's meant to be shared and it's meant to be accessed on multiple levels, and we shouldn't take it so like cerebral all the time. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Because that's why I love doing like street performances and the parades and dancing in the mall and all those things. Because it's like, what better way to like get people to experience this type of things than to bring it to them in their everyday life next to Target. You know, like so.
Yes, definitely. And you have definitely done an amazing job there because for the past few years you've been showing up everywhere. I mean, you name it, art festival, the jazz festival, soul festival, gay pride. I mean, you've been there. You've been a big part of the community.
It's been an amazing opportunity to just be so welcomed in the community. Because I feel like before I came, or the first year that I got here, I wasn't very active in anything. That was 2015. And I just kind of observed the general community and how things worked. And I just noticed that there just wasn't a lot of, it wasn't just that there was not a lot of representation from black men, black gay men, black anything really. There was also not really the desire to take on that mantle. And so I kind of tried to dissect where that was coming from. And the best way to dissect it was to dive into it. So
yes, exactly,
so I'm going to do everything I've ever thought about doing for this community.
Wonderful. So. Yeah. So